So we all have some energy within us. It is called biomagnetic energy. And I have put a slide here, a statement from Einstein. He says, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want and you can't help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. What he says simply, if you can work on this biomagnetic energy and match the frequency with the reality what you want, whatever goal you have, whatever ambition you have, let it be anything. If you can match the frequency of your energy to that, then you can't help, you will get that reality, and there is no other way, and this is physics. And he said 150 years before, and that's what our ancestors, our sages have told thousands of years back. Now, what we are going to do is, we will learn some more about this biomagnetic energy and how that is possible to achieve what I want in my life. People say law of attraction. Even our gurus, not even, our guru says same thing. Fraction demand, totality supplies. What you want, you can achieve. But we need to work on something, right? And this is that biomagnetic energy. So with this, I conclude my session now. Now, what we are going to do, what is next? What is the next step? See, today, what we have learned so far, or what we have gone through so far, only a couple of things. One, there are three fundamental root causes for all the problems in life. One, we have not understood about ourselves. We have not understood about our society. We have not understood about the nature or the supreme power. As a small step towards that, we started understanding about ourselves. We have three components: body, mind, and eye force. Now, body we know a lot, but we don't put into practice. Mind, we have little knowledge. Life energy, we have very, very, very little knowledge. So we have to take some steps to learn about our physical body and mind and life energy. And yoga provides all those things. In addition to IQ, EQ, SQ, yoga practices can help us to improve the degree of intelligence with respect to the brain, with respect to the emotion, with respect to the spiritual energy what we have in us. Now, we also learned we have some biomagnetic energy within us. Now, what is the next step? If I ask this, what is the next step? The next very basic question should be, we all know that why I go for job. I want money to make my life comfortable. And why I eat? I want to live, otherwise I will die. Now, why we live? If I ask that question, we get different answers from different persons. So the next step is to know about ourselves with the fundamental question, why do we live? Now, to get the understanding what our guru have said about the purpose of our life, I invite Senior Professor Balachandran to start this. Thank you all. There is a question and answer session at the end. Whatever questions you have, keep it and we will answer it at the end. Thank you, everyone. Kumaresan sir.
Yeah, I will just give a brief introduction of Professor Balachandran for a couple of minutes.
Please, yeah.
He is basically more than 40 years he is with our organization, and he started his career in statistical and education ministry in the central government, during which period he was deputed to the government of Oman from the Indian government. That is where his journey in the Middle East started. And also after his return from Oman, after 5 or 6 years, he took voluntary retirement, and he has been in full time with our organization for more than 20 years. And he has a very dedicated, he also was involved in starting most of the meditation centers of our organization in the Middle East, mainly in US and Canada, and also in Europe to a large extent. It was his teams single-handedly, they would travel, stay in different places, and start organizations to run it by itself. And also, he has a very clear concepts of Swamiji, and having spoken with him, I understood very clearly he has a very strong knowledge on the subject. And also, his specialty is he has a different way of taking the classes, which you will all understand and which will keep us very interesting. Thank you. Welcome, sir, again.
Good evening to all of you. It's a great pleasure addressing such a large gathering of people who are interested in how is it that we can improve our lives. And I think it's the right time to think when you're not able to go to office, when things have become so difficult in the last 1 month, which even a few months back we could not have even dreamt of. Sometimes when we get serious problems, then maybe our life totally changes in a very, very positive way. It is in difficult times, if you are able to deal with it properly, you come to know of the innate strength we all have. So let us take those challenges. And I think one of the best ways you are facing the challenge is to try to improve yourself. While most of the others would be watching TV, etc., etc., etc. I'm so happy to see that many of you would like to know something about ourselves and how we can change our life, change our family's life, and even the national or international level. Professor Muthu had given a very, very interesting points. He must have he has told you. We come to know that we know very little about ourselves. I mean, that's a mind-boggling thing. We seem to be having so many degrees and we have got so much of experiences in life, but the master Vethathiri Maharishi, when he asked some very pointed questions, which Professor Muthu very beautifully gave in the last 1 hour, that we know so little about ourselves. We don't know. We're not taking care of our physical body. We don't know what our life energy is. We don't know what is magnetism within us, whereas we constantly use electromagnetism, ferromagnetism, but we didn't know about human magnetism. So like this, even divinity, if it is present everywhere, it should be there within us also. How can you understand the divinity within us? Is divinity there within us or somewhere up above the clouds? If it is present everywhere, it should be within me also, isn't it? But we keep searching, going to so many different places, doing so many other types of worship. But if divinity is everywhere, it should be within me also. It's a very, very powerful logic. And in fact, that is the purpose of human life. I think I should not have told the answer before. If we have been asked to give an answer as to what is the purpose of your life, Professor Muthu started with that. Okay, we eat because we are going to survive. And after that, because everyone is going to school, I am also going to school. Everyone is going to college, I am also going to college. Everyone gets married, I also get married. Children, is that the ultimate goal of life? Is that the be all and end all of life? Or is there something more to it? Animals also do all those things. Thank God they don't go to schools and colleges. But other
Sir, we are not able to hear your audio. Rashekar sir, are you there?
we have fantastic capabilities.
Sir, you had some break in your voice. We couldn't hear for some seconds.
How is it? Now is it okay?
Yeah, now video is clear. Yeah, I guess yes.
Yes. Yes. So suppose we ask this question, what is the objective of our life? What is the purpose of our life? In fact, when this question was asked in front of Swamiji, it just struck me. I said, I don't even know why I'm living or what for. What is the goal of life? We may think it's a very philosophical question. It's a very, very practical question. It's about your life. Unless we know, in fact, for any journey to be successful, we need two important things. One is we should know where we have to go. What is the target? And having known the target, okay, I want to go to this place, but that alone is not enough. I should also know what are the steps I should take in order to reach that place, isn't it? If you are in Doha and you want to come to India, first of all, you got to know that I want to come to India. And once you know that, then the second question is, how do I reach that place? Should I have a visa? Should I have a passport? Should I have a ticket? What will be the cost? How do I do that? Unless you plan the whole thing, your journey cannot be successful. So even for a journey of just 5 hours or 4 hours flight, you need so much of planning. And then only possibly it could be a success. Whereas we are going to live for 60, 70, 80 years, we don't know. And we don't even know where we are supposed to go. What is the goal of my life? And after having known the goal, what are the steps I should take in order to reach that goal? So if I don't know both, I'm just going round and round just because others are doing it, I also do it. But that is why there is no satisfaction in our lives. We don't know what we want. We don't know what our strengths are. So unfortunately, our present education system is not providing these fundamental information about us. I can very clearly say about this because I was working in education ministry in Delhi. So maybe I'm also responsible for the irresponsible education system. So in order to take a corrective action, I said, okay, I will do something which will give real education. And I quit that job. And now I feel that I am able to give that part of education which is missing in our present educational curriculum. Present curriculum teaches us some language, English, Hindi, Tamil, Arabic, whatever, so that you can communicate with other persons. And then it also gives you a skill in order to survive. But there are other things which it is not saying. And that is what is being covered in this program. So if you participate in these programs, your education becomes complete. Otherwise, it will be incomplete irrespective of whatever degrees we have. So coming back to this question, what is the goal of human life? And how do I reach that? So I was talking about divinity. There's a great force called nature, all pervading. That is called total consciousness. And I'm a fractional consciousness. It's a very philosophical, it may appear as a philosophical discussion for a few minutes, but then we are going to see in depth and see how clear it can be. My consciousness, my fractional consciousness, to become one with the total consciousness is the ultimate goal of human life. As a child, I was not knowing much, but at the age of 1, 2, 3, slowly my consciousness develops. I come to know something about myself, something about others, something about the society, something about how the world functions. Can this consciousness become complete? That is the journey of our life. So let us assume that my consciousness to become one with the total consciousness, which is called God, divine consciousness, that is the ultimate goal of human life. Let us take it that way. Because if you see, from animals, slowly our consciousness is increasing from plant life to living with 1 sense, 2 senses, 3 senses, animals, and then consciousness keeps on increasing. And to reach that total consciousness is the ultimate goal of human life. Okay, having known this, how do I go about it? What is the route? And Maharishi gives 12 beautiful steps. If you follow these 12 steps, you can reach the very purpose of human life. In this life itself, you don't have to spend another few lives. You don't know what's going to happen later. Now, these 12 steps is again broken for simplicity into 4 parts, each of them having 3 steps. The first 3 is being a human, being a living being, you've got to survive, isn't it? Survival is a basic necessity for doing anything. So, 3 important steps are required for survival. 3 important needs are there, basic needs which have to be fulfilled. And those 3 basic needs are, we all know, food, without which we cannot survive. Food, then clothing. Clothing, because the temperature variations, we need to protect ourselves. So it's again a basic need. Then we need a shelter. We all know all these things. We need a shelter to be protected from winds and things like that, to stay somewhere. So food, clothing and shelter, 3 important needs. One more thing is this, the Maharishi adds a very important point we generally don't include in the basic needs. And that is, as we take food, excretory forces are there, they have to go out of the system, isn't it? Passing stools, passing urine, like that. There are so many forces which have to go out of our system at appropriate times. So we need facilities and comforts for that. You need a toilet facility. Similarly, as a man and a woman, after a particular age, having sexual contact is also a basic need. So in this way, food, clothing, shelter, and appropriate partnership, they all are basic needs. These 3 needs have to be met for anyone to survive. So this is for maintenance. Then we need 3 protections. Those 3 protections are protection from enmity of other living beings. We need to be constantly protected from the violence of other human beings or tiger, etc., etc. So we need to be protected, without which we cannot survive. Then protection from accidents. That is why we follow rules. In a car which can go at 100 miles per hour, unless there are proper rules and regulations, I can meet with an accident. So once I have an accident, my life is gone. I can't reach the purpose of life. So protection from enmity of other living beings, protection from accidents, protection from natural calamities. Now, even this virus, either a natural calamity or we have created it, whatever. We need protection against these. Otherwise, we cannot survive and reach the goal of life. So these 3 protections are a must for all of us, even for animals. For all living beings, these basic needs and basic protections are common for any living being. But for human beings, because it's a very advanced species, it requires something more. So we come to the next 3. One important thing about human being is he can't live a lonely life. He has to be a part of the society. And because of him, the society survives, and because of the society, he survives. They are mutually complementary to each other. And if the society has to support you properly, you have to do something in return to the society. Then only there can be a harmony, a good system will evolve. And for that, there are 3 virtues. They are morality, duty, and charity. What is morality? Morality is defined in a number of ways. But one beautiful way the master gives is, I don't want anybody to harm me. So what I should do? I should not harm somebody else, isn't it? If I don't want to be harmed by somebody, then in return, I also should not harm somebody else. So not harming others by thought, word or deed can be considered a moral act. Otherwise, it's an immoral act. Imagine if everyone is moral in this way, will we have such problems in society? So morality is a very simple definition. Then what is duty? We have been hearing the word duty. Then we keep saying, I got to go to office, which is my duty. I have to do it. So somehow when we say duty, we don't feel comfortable doing that. But the real meaning of duty can make you so powerful, so enjoyable in performing your duty. If you really appreciate what duty means. The master, in a master stroke, defines duty as due to society. You are indebted to society, so you should do something in return. If today I'm speaking in English and you're listening in English, how do you learn this language? Is it not a gift to the society? But for which we would not have communicated like this. And if we didn't have this internet system, could we, you sitting in Doha, I sitting in Chennai, somebody else sitting in America listening? Is it not because the society's gift that we're able to do it? The moment you start thinking of all the objects you are using in life, I'm using the specs, did I make it? So like that, if you keep asking questions, you will find that every moment of your life, you're constantly indebted to the society. Think of the shirt you're wearing, think of the chair on which you're sitting, think of the food that has come to you. Somebody has prepared it, somebody has procured it, some shopkeeper has taken it from one place to another. See, thousands of people are involved in you getting one small item. And you don't produce even a single, you produce a part of an item, that's all. But you're enjoying thousands of items every day. So, but for the society, you would not be able to get this. Now, I said you can travel to America, to Chennai in 5 hours, but what about the aeroplane? You didn't make it, but you're going to make use of it. So, like this, if you see, every moment of our life, we are constantly indebted to the society, but for which we could not enjoy all these things. So, what should I do? In return, I have got to do something to the society. So, whatever is a job given to me, I got to do it as perfectly as possible. Not because I get so much money. Money is a secondary thing. Unfortunately, it's connected. But it is nothing to do with money. I am indebted, so I should do the best work. If I am giving a lecture today, with all my limitations, I should try to do my best. Then I have done my duty. That's it. Maybe I got limitations, but within that limitation, my attitude should be that I should try to deliver it as well as possible. So that you spending some time, you should get something in return. And it should make some impact in your life. If it is done, my job is done. So if each one of us, somebody prepares a screw, if he does it properly, maybe accidents will be averted. So whatever job we are doing, if we can do it perfectly, that is the best way to return to the society. So duty consciousness is a very beautiful concept that will give you so much energy, irrespective of what others consider, it doesn't matter at all. You performing the duty in the best possible way give a satisfaction that itself is the fruit of the action. So this is duty. In fact, we are also duty bound to nature. Divinity has given us so much free. The land is free, the water is free, your body is free, everything is given free. Is it not your duty to take care of it and take care of nature? So duty is such a beautiful concept. In return, returning to the society, returning to the divinity, nature. So morality, duty, and charity. What is charity? Charity is You got something in surplus, and if you can share it with those who need it very badly, and they can't produce it, so that is charity. Children up to the age of 14, they don't produce anything. They have to depend on somebody. Again, after 65, 70, people cannot work. They have to be taken care of. Who will do that? So like that, they will be handicapped, physically, mentally handicapped. So whatever surplus we have, if you can share it with others, it's a great feeling to share surplus with others who need it badly. So that is charity. Imagine a society where people lead this simple formula of living a moral life, that means not harming others, doing their duty, and being charitable. Imagine how the society will be. It is because our education system has not provided us that this is highly valuable. These are values, these are virtues. Start implementing that. When your mind starts expanding, you start thinking beyond yourself. Your consciousness expands. And that is taking you to the ultimate goal of human. Fine. Now, the last three. There are three stages of consciousness. And what are the three stages of consciousness? First is we live by faith. That means, see, as a child, you don't know what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. You don't know what should be eaten, what should not be eaten. You don't know that the fire should not be touched. So, in the young age, you are being tutored by your parents. You got to have faith on them because your knowledge itself is not developed. So, the first few years of our life, we have to live on faith. So, then as your consciousness keeps on expanding, your knowledge keeps on expanding, then there's a second stage. And that second stage is understanding. You see, our consciousness, human consciousness can expand to a very great level. That is the greatness of human being. But that consciousness does not grow overnight. It takes quite some time. So as I told you, as a young person, young child, your consciousness is very limited. And so you have to live by faith on your parents, on your teacher, on your friends, etc. But by the time you become an adolescent, slowly you start asking questions, your understanding level increases, and you start becoming inquisitive. So you don't want to take things by faith. I want to question and find answers. This is a very scientific attitude towards life. It is important. We have to have that questioning mind. Don't take things for granted. So that is the second stage, understanding, trying to understand. And as understanding develops further and further, now with modern science, we are able to understand so many about the external world. Very, very important. But about the inner world, that is another journey. We need to journey in both ways, outward as well as inward. Much of our education is helping us to grow outward, know more about things outside. But there are so many things within you. So just today itself, we talked about the life energy, we talked about biomagnetism. We also have the divinity in us, consciousness in us. And if you can reach up to that level, and for that, there's a beautiful system of meditation going inward, inner journey. We must have heard of all these words, but it doesn't make much sense to us because it has not been put into practice. But I tell you honestly, start practicing that. That inner consciousness grows. There's another education, equally important. And it is only when that inner consciousness develops that you become lovable, you become compassionate. It becomes your second nature. And you get so much strength, physically, mentally, spiritually, that you are liked by everyone. You are able to send positive vibrations everywhere. Just like nature protecting all of us. nature protecting thousands of years, lakhs of years. Similarly, your consciousness can develop to such an extent that you will not only know the purpose of your life, you will be able to help others reaching the purpose of their lives. And you will find the oneness with everyone, not only with the human beings, but even with other living beings. It's a very beautiful feeling that Buddha's compassion and love, all of us can reach. And that is the purpose and goal of human life. But for this, you cannot straight away go there. You've got to have the three needs fulfilled, three protections you've got to take care of, three virtues you have to keep practicing, and then these three levels of consciousness by education of the external world and the inner world. And our Human Excellence program will be able to provide a beautiful input so that you get totally transformed and the very goal of life can be reached. Yes, understanding 360 degrees. Now the modern education is only 180 degrees. Turn inward, complete 360 degrees. Fine, and then your life becomes complete. And having reached that consciousness, can I pop off? No. I got to train others also to enjoy that. When your bucket is full, it has to overflow. So when you become full of consciousness, it will overflow. That love and compassion will overflow and help others as well. And the happiness you get when you see people transformed by your help, there's nothing more happiness can be there. So our life is worth having a very peaceful, enjoyable, exciting life is possible. Yes. Any question? Any comments?
Repeat the last line.
Repeat the last line. Okay. Oh, it became LOST, is it? The last line. I'll repeat. Yes, our consciousness can become one with divine consciousness, total consciousness. We are fraction. The fraction ultimately can become one with the total consciousness. When you do that, then your life is complete. I told you, the modern education is talking about the external world, 180 degrees. But internal world is equally important. And it is that education that makes the education complete. And then you will lead a very fulfilled, happy life. And not only that, you are happy, you are able to spread happiness all around. It's just like a rose. Once it becomes a flower, fragrance it has to send out because it is full. Same thing, you will be able to provide fragrance to everyone around, bring happiness around. And today the world requires it very badly. So that is the goal of life, and it's a very beautiful, enjoyable, excitable journey. Wish you all the best in this journey. Thank you. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for enlightening us with the purpose of life and also the methods or the ways how we can live, starting from the needs, protection, virtues, and the intellectual stages. Now, dear friends, we have another 15 minutes question and answer session. Before that, I want to give 2 homework questions. The first question, Bhalachandran Ayya spoke about the purpose of birth as divine realization or self-realization, or taking our fractional consciousness to become one with the total consciousness. It is also called a self-realization or divine realization. He said 360 degree, right? Now I always have this question. If this is the purpose of everyone's life, then what was the purpose of Mahatma Gandhi? What is the purpose of Bill Gates? And what was the purpose of our Maharishi, our Guru? His aim was world peace. So my homework question to you is, similar to Mahatma Gandhi, Bill Gates, Maharishi, what is your purpose? What is my purpose? Every one of you spend maybe 5-10 minutes in discussion with your family members And if any of you are already a Sky member, you please don't share your opinion. Let others think and share their opinions and their ideas, and we will discuss the answers on tomorrow. The second question is, if the purpose is self-realization or divine realization or becoming one with the total consciousness, how to achieve that? And if you listen today's lecture, the answer was already given. So I want you to just to think whatever you have learned today and discuss among yourselves to find answer how to achieve my purpose of birth, the common purpose of every human being, which is self-realization or divine realization or liberation or mukti or moksha or liberation or becoming one with the total consciousness, right? How to achieve that. So please discuss it. You can share your results on the WhatsApp group and we will discuss it tomorrow. That's number one. Number two, many of you, we have only your mobile numbers in our WhatsApp group. Please share your name and place so that we can communicate to you if any other such seminars or lectures or classes are coming on. We are not going to use this for any marketing, nothing. We are a non-profit organization. This is just, we need this to help you only. Otherwise, if you really don't need also, we are not going to ask you or block you. Absolutely no. It's the second one. And